Hey, I'm Jusko from ProudMoney.com. Well, it looks like I kind of screwed up the other day. I made a video saying that the Chase Freedom Flex Mastercard no longer had cell phone protection, and it appears that it still does. And the problem really was a short-term screw-up from Mastercard, who was telling people both on their website when people tried to make a claim and when people were calling in on the phone that the cell phone protection was no longer on those Chase accounts. But then when you would contact Chase, Chase would say, yes, we still are offering the cell phone protection. So we're kind of going around and around, but Mastercard was the one that was actually providing the service. So my assumption, and you know what happens when you assume, was that the coverage was no longer offered, but it appears that it was a short-term problem. Because now when you go to the Mastercard site, you can put in your Chase Freedom Flex number and it will take you to a screen that acknowledges that you have the cell phone protection, and it takes you to the claim area if you actually have a damaged phone. Now, I can't say when you actually file that claim what will happen, but you can at least get to the place where you can file the claim, where the other day you could not. Now, I don't know if this is a temporary glitch on Mastercard's end, or they just wiped out the cell phone protection across the board on all Mastercards without realizing that they had done it, because many Mastercards did in fact lose the cell phone protection, but not the Chase Freedom Flex. So as of now, looks like everything is up and running, and the other video was wrong. So this video is a little painful for me to make because I feel like I screwed up a little bit. I should have been a little more doubtful, and instead I sort of stated it as fact that the cell phone protection had gone away, when in fact it was a short-term issue. And Chase was saying it had not gone away, so I probably should have waited a little longer instead of just taking Mastercard's word for it. So I have to take some blame here and take the L on this one. As they say, I should have framed it as a question as to whether the cell phone protection was going away and hedged it a little bit instead of stating it as fact, because it's not fact. Now, while I acknowledge my own shortcomings, I have to say I'm actually pretty peeved at Mastercard and Chase as well. Mastercard more than Chase, but actually both of them. Mastercard should have had something up on their website saying that things were not working correctly when they realized it, and when people are calling in and they're getting a customer service rep, because I did call in and try to follow up and make sure that my information was correct, and I got the same information from the customer service rep. Now, that customer service rep is probably essentially using the exact same system that I'm using online and saying, nope, you don't have the coverage, because they don't really know any more than I do oftentimes on the front lines. And that's no blame to the customer service rep. They get what they get from the higher ups. So the higher ups in Mastercard are the ones who should be more on top of this stuff and acknowledge it as fast as possible, instead of sort of leaving their customer service reps hanging out to dry. And while Mastercard was mostly to blame for this, Chase was not completely innocent here either. When people are calling in and saying, hey, I'm supposed to have cell phone protection, and Mastercard is telling me I don't, and Chase is just saying, oh yeah, you do, call Mastercard, well, that person's already contacted Mastercard. They already know that Mastercard is going to tell them that they don't have it. So from Chase's end, to just kind of blow it off and say, well, that's a service that somebody else is providing and it's not our problem, well, you're marketing your credit card with that as one of the features. So to put it in the fine print, well, it's not our problem, that's not really taking personal responsibility for it when you are the one marketing the credit card. Now again, you're dealing with customer service reps that don't have a whole lot of power to do anything about it, and they have limited information, so all they can do is say, yes, you do have that coverage, even if they can't do anything about the fact that when you try to actually take advantage of that coverage, the other company is telling you you don't have it. So nobody's got sort of the empowerment to say, I will get to the bottom of this from Chase's end. Again, not the customer service rep's fault, the fault of people higher above them. And unfortunately, this is often how it goes with big corporations. They point the finger at each other while you are in the middle just going around and around trying to get your problem solved, and no one is willing to take the responsibility for it. What are you going to do about it? You could sue them, but you're probably going to spend more in attorney's fees than you're ever going to get back for that damaged phone, and it's going to be a while before that all gets straightened out. Anyway, that is it for this video. Sorry I screwed that one up. I did take the other video down, so nobody else is going to see it, but I apologize to the 5,000 plus people that watched that last video.